Verse 1. I want you to see this. So tomorrow now. There's no bond. Surrogacy is legitimate and is legal in the scripture. Yes. I even want to now add something now. You see, at that time, they have to have sex. To actually, this surrogate mother has to sleep with your husband. And it's legal. Today, there is no need for that sleeping part. A doctor can play the in-between role between this, because what we are trying to get is a child, not to give you a concubine. The doctor can play the role and they get the egg, get the whatever. And there are two ways. Sometimes it's the two parents that donate the life-giving elements. It's the woman's egg and her husband's sperm. The young lady just carries it. There are situations where they say now no egg is left, everything is finished. Because you all need to know something about women. Men produce sperm every 24 hours, new ones. And each cup, just a bottle cover, contains millions of sperms that can impregnate. Actually, one ejaculation can impregnate 1 million women. Anyway, that's in quotes. That's in quote anyway. But you see, for a woman, you come with a limited number. So from the day you start ovulation, you start losing it and there are no new numbers being added. By the time you turn 30, you have lost 90%. You know, sometimes I was teaching and encouraging young people about early marriage and all that. The Bible said the children of the youth. Some people who probably have whatever got that misunderstood and they were trying to react. No, we cannot in one sermon do the 360 just like I'm trying to do now. Coverage. We can't do it in one sermon. Because sometimes you have to focus on one thing and address it. It doesn't mean that because we encourage early marriage that we're saying, because one lady asked a question, he said, okay, I'm young now, but will I marry myself? How am I going to do it? That's another subject. But the Bible recommends that because God is the one that created men. The reason is this. From puberty, there are special, by the time a girl gets to 18, 19, 20. In the Bible days, they will have started having marriage experience from 18, 19, 20. I'm even going to say something that might surprise you. In the Old Testament time, there are cases of 16, 17. Which in today's sensibility will look like child abuse. Now, what happens is that by the time they're in their 20s, they're finished. You meet the young woman that has 3 kids. You meet one of her daughters. They look like sisters. Most of these complications that now start coming with age, they have avoided it. You see why I'm teaching this wider spectrum? Because we are not all in the same bracket. Some of us are married late. There's a lady, one of my daughters, she got married at the age of 46. So I said to her, you want to have kids? I said, you have to be strategic now. The time is short for you. Don't wait trying to do honeymoon first, do this. There are things you can take and you can delay menopause. Yes, in case you don't know, another subject. And I think our sisters' fellowship and others should be teaching all this stuff. And they are trying, they are doing their best. There are things you do, you can delay it up to 5 years. You can even delay it up to 7 years. You can delay it up to, yes. If you're a young woman and you're beginning to see flashes and signs of menopause, please go and ask Mommy Wampa and others are there. Ask them questions. You can push it away. You can even push it away up to 10 years. If your period is beginning to stop or some of those signs, you can push it away. And some of them are just natural things that are growing around you. So I say you have to do your business. And she said to me, no, DP, I'm the MD. I have goals, my corporate goals I have to accomplish. I'm not yet. I say, you are a big girl CEO, but you are just a baby in understanding. There are things in life that don't wait. No, I'm talking to you now as a father, trying to talk to his children. You can ignore it, do whatever you like. There are things in life that don't wait. There are other things that can always be done. So I have to go and have this master's to go and study. And I say, She traveled abroad. She did all the things, courses she wanted to do, did all the whatever. Then, of course, she's now ready to have a child. Every prayer meeting, every whatever, pastor anoint me, pastor. What is free? What is free? She told me she even did 3 abortions in course of growth. What was free? He said, me. Once somebody looks at me, I get pregnant. Just look. You don't need to touch me. He said, now, see me here. Which other institution is supposed to address this? The other one should be family. Even parents are no more talking to their kids. It's only the church that God is hoping on. There is nothing we're not going to talk about here. Nothing. As long as it's causing problem for people. Anyway, I encouraged her to do IVF and she got twins. And I'm grateful to God for that. And when she got it, I said, once the baby mature, don't go. All these things you hear us preaching. Supernatural childbirth. The Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women. Before they close their eyes, they have delivered. That's not for you. Those Hebrew women do it when they are young. You at your age. As the thing is reaching, just let the doctor open and bring out the children. So these are the problems we are having in the body. People just take one side of God and throw away the other side. Thank God that she listened. Brought out the baby and she's fine. The babies are fine. There is an age you get to. You know that you have certain type of complications. Age is not on your side. You have certain health problems. Don't go and start carrying that baby. And then you die in childbirth. What have we achieved? Because you want to prove I'm the one that carried them and gave birth to them. Let a young girl carry that baby for you. This is something you should have done in the proper season. Okay, for certain circumstances of life, you were not able to do it then. Let somebody else do it for you. The baby is still your baby. Donate the egg. Let your husband donate the whatever. Let them do the baby. Let somebody carry it for you. Save your life. Are there miracles? I'm in the business. Can a 80-year-old conceive, give birth? Yes. Can 90 do it? Yes. Can even 120 do it? God can do all things. But you don't keep tempting the Lord your God. God gave. Okay, Jacob got married. These are the covenant people. You can't claim the covenant more than the man whose name is on the check. You are saying Abraham's blessing, but these are the people you are calling. They face this problem. So Abraham's grandson Jacob marries. The girl he loved was Rachel. Rachel was barren. When Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no child, Rachel envied her sister Leah. And she said to Jacob, give me children or I die. No, it's not a death, whatever. No. You can have life. You can adopt. The fourth, after surrogacy, the fourth method is adoption. That's why I gave you first the method that can give you your own child first. Then adoption. Verse 2. And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said to her, am I in God's stead, who has withheld from thee the fruit of the womb? Anyway, that's the Old Testament. It's not God that is doing that. It's Satan. There is something going on there. But anyway, verse 3. And she said, behold, my maid bear her. I want you to watch now, surrogacy. Because you will never see cast out anything here. All the 12 kids born by these women were the patriarchs that founded the nation of Israel. The 12 tribes of Israel that God established covenant with. So bear her, go into her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children. So you see, even though Bilhah is one that will carry the children, but the children will belong to Rachel. That's how they used to do it. And verse 4, and she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife, and Jacob went into her. Yes, verse. And Bilhah conceived and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, God has judged me and had also heard my voice and had given me a son. But it was another woman that delivered it. Therefore, she was the one that named that child Dan. But then watch, another baby is coming. Verse 7. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again and bare Jacob a second son. Yes, verse 8. And Rachel said, with great wrestling I have wrestled with my sister and have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. So Bilhah gave birth to 2 boys. And there are today 12 tribes of Israel. The sister Leah, who has now stopped giving birth, she has given birth. She gave birth to 6 boys, 6 kids, and a girl. But at this time, she has not given birth to the daughter. She had about 5 boys. She got jealous too. My younger sister now has 2 boys. I have 5. Instead of being content, she carried her own maid too and submitted. So since the thing is no more working, okay. So you see a situation, somebody that gave birth but has reached a point, the thing stopped. Still use surrogacy to complete the number she wanted. I'm going to complete the reading because I want to leave a warning that is left in this lesson. And you will see what the warning is. When Leah saw that she had left bearing, she took Zilpah. You see, she had stopped giving birth. She took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her to Jacob to be wife. Verse 10. I told you that once it is done properly this way, it is not adultery, it is not illegal, it's not a sin, it is legal. Because there is no cheating. Now, that's not to say you go and tell your wife, you say, please. You know, that's not what we are talking about here. We are solving the problem of childbirth, barrenness. Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. Watch, verse 11. And Leah said, a troop cometh. And she called his name what? Gad. Look at the last one, verse 12. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a second son. And Leah said, happy am I, for daughters will come in blessed. And she called his name Asher. Amazingly, after this, she conceived and gave birth to one more boy and gave birth to a girl. So she gave birth directly to 6 boys. Her maid gave birth to 2, making it 8. And then Rachel, that has delivered 2 boys through her maid, now got pregnant. And the baby that was born is the one we call Joseph. And God remembered Rachel and God hearkened to her. So prayer opened her womb and opened her womb. Verse 23. And she conceived and bare a son and said, God has taken away my reproach. Verse 24. And she called his name Joseph and said, the Lord has added to me another son. Verse 25. And it came to pass when Rachel had born Joseph that Jacob said to Laban, send me away that I may go. Now there are 11 boys. Go to chapter 35 verse 16. And this is where I want to close. The fourth and final is legal adoption. Adoption. Genesis 35 verse 16. Yeah, 16. And they journeyed from Bethel. Now he has told his father-in-law to give me my family. I want to go. And when they left, but Rachel got 2 boys by surrogacy, got 1 naturally. But there's something you need to know. All these years, why 11 boys have been produced and now they've grown, years has passed. Actually, the Bible says 20 years is what Jacob spent there with his father-in-law before he left. 20 years. But there is a problem of envy and competition between her and her sister. And she decides to go take in again. Now that God has opened up her womb. I always advise, whatever decisions you make in things like this, you have to put your age into consideration. Put your health into consideration. If it is 2 babies that God has blessed you, be happy. If it is 1, be happy. Here is 1 Isaac that produced a nation for Abraham. You want more, maybe it's time to now adopt maybe additional 1 and help look after children that don't have parents. For another person, it doesn't apply because they are much younger than in their strength. At the journey to Bethel, there was but a little way to get to Ephrata, that is Bethlehem. Just a little for them to reach there. Rachel traveled and she had hard labor. This was Benjamin, the last boy. And verse 17. It came to pass when she was in hard labor that the midwife said to her, fear not, you shall have this son also. Verse 18. And it came to pass, as her soul was departing, she died. And she called the name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. Because that name will follow that child. It means bitterness, sorrow. This child gave me problem and this child killed me. No child killed the mother. But the process of delivery is a dangerous thing. Because of that original curse that came at the garden. Jesus on the cross has broken that curse. One thing you need to know about faith, everybody is not there. And what God does is that he meets people at their level of faith. He said, be it unto you according to... He meets people where they are. There's somebody you meet. I don't want any cesarean operation. Even though doctors are saying they have a strong faith. You pray for them, the baby turns, the baby is delivered. Another person you meet, you see that there is fear, there is whatever. Walk with them. Let them have that operation and save that life. Don't just do because somebody else did. You know, because you see, this is our Pentecostal circle, charismatic circle. When people give testimonies, it's the same God, but he works in different ways. Don't say your testimony must come the way the other man's own came. He got his own breakthrough through contract. Who said your own must be contract? What you should not think about controlling is the means through which God answers. It's the same God. He will answer, but his method are multiple. That's the warning I'm closing this service with. And one woman gave a testimony how that she and her husband then at the age of 35, after 35 years of marriage, she is now 69. God bless her with twins. God, I must have twins. Stop playing with your life. It's the same God. It's a faithful God. He's going to bless you. But it doesn't mean that the two people must come at once. You know what happens to me every time? Pastor, pray for me. I said, what is it? He said, we have not been having a child. I want you to pray for me too. But it has to be a twin. Who told you I want to be a twin? What if it is me that is coming? Who told you I want another person looking like me? I want to be myself. Some people are created to be twins. But who told you must force that girl to be twin? Be open-minded. Be open-minded. You can solve that problem by natural means. You can solve it by medically assisted pregnancy. You can solve it by surrogacy. You can solve it by adoption. And it can be solved by supernatural intervention. That's the fifth. I showed my mother-in-law this case study. I said, did you see that? They ended up 4 women. 4. And they had 12 boys. Yeah. I said, there was no cast out any bondwoman here. Even though there are supposed to be like 2 ladies that came into us. No cast out. As a matter of fact, the people that were even fighting were the legitimate people. Not those ones who were peaceful. And you need to know the situation. The situation was so serious that these young girls that came in to help, to let you know how young they were. By the time Jacob had had children from Beha and Zephyr, Reuben was now a full-grown man, the first son of Leah. That one day he came back and saw that lady dressed one kind. He went in there and had sex with her and ended up with a curse. Ended up with a curse. Because this is like you are having younger wives, and now your earlier children have grown. Now, one of your young wife is their age mate. One of your young wife is even younger than your son. And so the Bible says Jacob traveled. He went to pay Isaac a visit to go and honor his father. By the time he came back, his first son, Reuben, has gone in and he slept with the girl while the girl was sleeping. So when they finished checking it, they found out that there is no judgment on her. She was not part of it. It's actually a form of rape. But he was the one who committed, and then judgment is a curse that would have wiped out his life. But later, the father prayed for him and got him out of that mess. But even at that, the effect of it followed him. He lost his birthright as the first son. So medical science have grown to that point now where the doctors can arrange this thing, get somebody, you don't, all this sleep, went in with her, does not need to exist. So that major problem solved. One lady said, after she delivers, he will end up finding out that he's the girl. I said, if you want him to know, he can know. If not, you can go and arrange it with the doctor. Just bring him to hospital to donate his own whatever. Simple. And let him go. Sort out the problem and leave the man alone. If you think that if he knows who the girl is, that there is a chance that they will continue somewhere, these are all your problems. Whenever you are engaging in a war or you're persecuted, first do assessment where you are. You do assessment. In this case, health assessment, where am my age, and all the other circumstances, even the finance in the family, or the things you need to support, because there are some other people that can afford to fly to Paris, fly to Dubai, fly to get the best of anything in this world. You check yourself and know, and then with the amount of what you have, can I prosecute it this way, or is this strategy going to be better for me? The most important thing is that when the couples agree, they now come before God and say, this is what we've agreed to do. I will ask you to help us and bless. And the grace of God will come and it will bring prosperity. God bless you. God bless you.